Hi, everyone. I'm Jennifer Whitaker, trauma specialist, empowerment strategist, and shadow guide. And let's talk about collective consciousness today and how that can lead to collective trauma and what that means for us individually. And what I hope you can get out of this is enough awareness to start to realize that when the collective consciousness is affecting you beneath your conscious awareness, then you don't have a choice in how you respond to it. And it's my hope to give you enough of awareness, at least the beginnings of it, that you can start to notice it and have some control in how to respond and what to do about it. So let's go ahead and get started. And we're going to start with a really brief history lesson. This is a photo of Émile Durkheim from Wikipedia. And Émile Durkheim was a French sociologist who established the academic discipline of sociology, and he is commonly cited, along with Karl Marx and Max Weber, as one of the principal architects of modern social science. And Durkheim believed that sociology is to society what biology and medicine are to the human body. And that's a really important concept because he's comparing society to a living organism. And society is an organism, according to Durkheim, that is made up of different parts, which all have to function well together in order for that organism to be healthy. Very much like our human bodies are. All of our parts have to function well together for us to be healthy. And I think every one of us knows what it feels like when we're not healthy, whether we have a cold or maybe we've developed an autoimmune disorder or a chronic illness. We all know what it feels like when our bodies aren't working quite right. And the same thing happens with societies. Anything with ology at the end of it implies the study of. So what is it that sociology studies? Well, sociology studies social facts. And according to Google Dictionary, a social fact is a thing originating in the institutions or culture of a society which affects the behavior or attitudes of an individual member of that society. Social facts include things like manners of acting, thinking, and feeling. And these are external to the individual, and they're invested in coercive power by virtue of which they exercise control over the individual. So what that means is there is a certain expectation from the society that we live in and how we're supposed to think, act, feel, or hold or behave ourselves. And that can vary from culture to culture or society to society or group to group. However, on the flip side, social facts also create a shared reality for everyone, something that we can all agree on. So they form a sense of foundation or stability in the group or society or the collective that we're talking about. Social facts are external to the individual, and this can be political systems, beliefs about right and wrong, suicide rates and other statistics, holiday celebrations, and architectural styles, just to name a few. Social facts are powerful and coercive. And social facts can make an individual do things that he, she, or they might otherwise not do. Collective consciousness is essentially shared beliefs that hold coercive power, although they're not necessarily beliefs that are held by everyone in the group. And this is what can lead to social dysfunction, which is something that impedes the normal functioning of society. And this is why, if you think back to slide 1, when Durkheim compared societies to organisms, and he equated sociology being the equivalent in a society as biology and medicine are to the human body. That's important because social dysfunction and something that impedes the normal functioning of society really should be looked at as an illness or a disease within that society. And it's important to know also that Durkheim himself lived during a transition in France's society. It was a period called the Belle Epoque in France, which was a time of innovation, artistry, and even peace between wars. It's sometimes called France's Golden Age, and it marked a shift from a more traditional society to a more, what was called at the time, a more modern society. And Durkheim observed a strong link between the changes in societal structure and suicide rates. So when the values of the society that he lived in were being pulled apart by the shift from traditional to modern, people tended to lose their sense of place in society. And he noticed that they fell into feelings of isolation and meaninglessness. And these are feelings that often underlie suicide rates. And he traced this back to large societal changes. And over the years, as the field of society has grown, or sociology, the field of sociology has grown, even more links have come together, noticing that huge societal shifts like the one we're in now are leading to not only increased suicide rates, but also increased rates of addiction. And we see that through the opioid crisis and other drug crises that we have in our society. We see it through divisiveness. We see it through the increase of anxiety and depression that's happening in our society. So there are a lot of symptoms that are associated with these huge societal shifts. So some key takeaways are that our personal feelings are not purely personal. I encourage all of you to look at the bigger picture on how the collective is affecting you, because our personal feelings are influenced by the structure of society, whether we like it or not. So what can we do about it? Well, healing can come through community connection, meaningful work, engaging in spiritual practices, and being of service to others. And this is only to name a few, but these are a few big ones that really have holding power in how to heal through such huge societal transitions. And an example is to look at your local community, look what's around you every day. And a simple gesture, such as offering to grocery shop for a neighbor or a friend, will not only help that neighbor or friend feel less isolated and alone, it will likely make you feel better too. So I hope this brings a little bit of awareness to the collective consciousness, what it is, how it affects us, and why it matters. Because if you start to look at the bigger picture and how the largest society affects you individually, then you start to have more power, more empowerment, and more choice in your own life and how you respond to that. And it doesn't have to take you out, whether it be through mental illness or anxiety or depression or addiction. You have more control than you think. Please reach out to me. There's a link to my profile below. My name's Jennifer Whitaker, and I hope to hear from you. If you have any comments or questions, please reach out. Have a fantastic day.